Hello everybody, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm back with a book tag. It's been a while, so I thought this would be fun. This one is called the Pro Wrestling book tag, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, you probably don't know that I really enjoy wrestling. I don't get to watch it as much as I would like to, but I like watching wrap-ups and reviews on YouTube. So, and I just love it. I think it's so much fun. And I thought I could combine my two enjoyments of reading and wrestling. And I found this tag on Hera's Nicole's channel. I think that's how you say that. The original tag video is gone, so we'll just use this one. So before I begin, I'll have you know I've actually prepared for this one. I'm sure you're also proud of me. So the first question: Powerbomb, a book or series that lifted you up only to slam you right back down at the end. I have two books here. Excuse me. The first one is The Holy Innocents by Kate Sedley. This is book 4 in the Roger the Chapman series. And I think I've said before, you can start with anyone because, most of the beginning is sort of re-summarized. But so, if you don't want to read all of them, but you want to read this, I recommend reading the whole series. Anyway, this is about Roger, who's a Chapman, which is just like a peddler of goods. And since this is a used copy, the summary is covered up. So we'll go on Goodreads. It is 1475, 2 weeks and a day past Easter, and Roger arrives in Totnes village, and there's been some stealing and pillaging by a pack of cutthroat wanderers in the forest, and he learns that the marauding band has been terrorizing the countryside for weeks, stealing livestock, money, and goods from travelers, and raiding cottages. And the town of Totnes is convinced that the marauding band has taken 2 children. And he is quote unquote rescued because it's Hawk Monday, and they explain what that is, but he has to do something with a group of women. I'm not 100% sure, but it's in the book. And so he's rescued by Griselda Harborn, who was the children's nurse. So Roger gets caught up in the story. He would have anyway, because he likes to solve mysteries. So he wants to know, how did the children get out of the house in broad daylight? Why did they leave? Where did they go? And would the outlaws really just kill for the sake of killing? So you find out what happened to the children, and I'm not good at mysteries. I think I've said this before. I can never really figure out, if I know who the bad guy is, I don't know why they've done it. But I didn't know who the bad guy was or why they did it, and when you find out, you're like, what the fuck? How? What? I was just left speechless, and this one really fucked me up. And the other book that really fucked me up was Mistress of the Art of Death by Ariana Franklin, the first in the Adelia. Amrita told me how to say that, so I hope I'm saying that right. Adelia novels. And I know I've talked about this before, but she is a coroner, essentially, but they didn't have that word. So, you know, she dissects corpses, and she, well, not her personally, but Henry II sends for a coroner from the medical school of Salerno, because they have men, women, Jews, Muslims, Christians. It's sort of like utopia for learning. And what's happened is there have been 4 children murdered, and the Catholic mobs are, unsurprisingly, threatening the Jews, and Henry II is like, no, they're like my money maker, let's not do that. And this is after Thomas à Becket. So Adelia arrives with, oh god, what is his name? I've forgotten his name. But she arrives and solves the murders, and not so much the solving of the murder, like the solving of the murders was like, oh wow, that's fucking weird, but also the aftermath of the murders being solved, what happens to the villains is I was pretty like, wow, that oof, like, it was another oof, you know, and it definitely made me want to read the rest of the book series. So far there hasn't been another oof like that, but I mean, it was a very good oof, if you know what I mean. Excuse me. The next one is Headlock, a book that you consider a timeless classic and one you always return to. And for me, it is the Hitchhiker's Guide. This is the ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide, complete and unabridged. Let's see. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This contains up to Mostly Harmless, which I believe are all the ones that Douglas Adams wrote. There is a book 6 by Eoin Colfer, which I have not read, but these are pretty classic. I do remember not really liking Mostly Harmless, but I think I only read it like once maybe. I do know I love this book series. It's so like nonsensical and like smart and funny. I mean, come on, the first line of the first book is like, or one of the famous lines is like the galaxy was made and it was considered a bad move. You know what I mean? Like, I just love it. And then there's Arthur Dent, and he's in his bathrobe, and there's a bulldozer, and he lays in front of it. And it's just a fantastic book series, and I would recommend you reading it. If you don't like nonsensical humor, probably not for you, but I love it. Number 3 is Sharpshooter, a book or book series that made you tap out, aka DNF. I think this was before Goodreads. I did DNF a book about Angel, the TV series. I just couldn't finish it. But the most recent one was A Spell for Chameleon. I've talked about it before. I just couldn't get through like the I don't think it, I don't know. It was misogynistic at times, and I just couldn't really handle it anymore. I know it's an old book, whatever, but still. So, yeah, and that's a series as well. I don't know how many books. Oh, a lot. I know there's a couple other book series. I read the first book, and they were like older fantasy, and I didn't really click with me, but I did finish the book, but I don't think I'd finish the series. Phoenix Splash, a book or book series that left your jaw dropping. And for this, I have picked specifically Crooked Kingdom, but the whole Six of Crows duology. Because at the end of Six of Crows, you're like, oh, shit, how are they going to fix this? And then in Crooked Kingdom, Kaz fixes everything. And you're like, stuff happens, and you're like, oh no, the plan! And it's been part of the plan the whole time. And I was like, oh my god, like, how does Lee Bardugo, it's sort of like with the first two, like, how do you even think of that? Like, I can't, yes. Everything came together for Kaz's plan, and it was fantastic, and I was like, oh my god. I know a lot of people don't like this one as much as the first one, and I'm like, but the plan comes together. I grew up on A-Team. If Kaz Brecker was in 2020, he would definitely quote Hannibal from A-Team and say, I love it when a plan comes together. It's fantastic. Okay, number 5. A character that you love to hate. I'm gonna have to say the Darkling from the Grisha trilogy. I don't really understand the hype about him. I don't think he's a viable love interest because there's a lot of power dynamics, and it's just, he's not interesting to me. So every time everybody talks about how much they love him, I just go, okay. Number 6, Headbutt, your favorite bloody and violent book. I don't really have bloody and violent books. I tend not to read those. I just read one, and I didn't know it was going to be that bloody and violent. I prefer bloody and violent video games, so, I mean, for that one, it's Doom, obviously, because you can just shotgun demons. So, yeah, that's my answer. And number 7 is German Suplex, a character that you find most beautifully or perfectly written. And I'm picking Tem from the Timura series by Naomi Novik. I think he is an adorable baby boy who needs to be protected at all costs. He doesn't, like, he goes to China and he sees how his family has been treated, like his dragon family, and then he comes back to England and basically starts a revolt because all dragons should be treated that way, which I agree. You know, he's got his own moral code, and he's going to do things even if it goes against the authority, because he doesn't really like authority, even though he tries in later books. And Will and him have a wonderful relationship, and I just love it and everything about it. And the last question is Sliced Bread number 2, the most amazing book since Sliced Bread. This one to me seems like a picking your favorite book, and I can't really do that, so, because I love them all. Well, not all of them, I DNF'd one, but you know what I mean. I really couldn't think of an answer for this, unfortunately. Because I'm like racking my brain. Ooh, this book is good, this book is good. So all of the books that I give, I don't know, 4+ stars on Goodreads are the best most amazing book since sliced bread. And that's the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a lovely day. So I don't know what that was. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.